Welcome to Dreamscape Worlds. Tonight, let us leave behind the rush of the world and slip quietly into a story that breathes in the hush of the past. Let your mind drift softly, and let my voice be a gentle guide, a whisper that carries you through moments lost to time and dreams woven in the quiet folds of history. If you enjoy these sleepy journeys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Every small act of support helps keep these gentle worlds alive. Now, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and let the story begin.
Chapter 1: Morning in Beverly Hills. The sun peeks through heavy drapes of golden velvet. Outside, the air is warm, but the room is cool. Soft breezes from a humming fan, the gentle hush of palm trees beyond the glass. You wake slowly. No alarm, no rush. Just the drifting scent of fresh orange juice and the soft crackle of a record playing somewhere nearby. A 1970s dream house. Thick shag carpets, glittering chandeliers, and a sunken living room filled with plush velvet cushions. You slip from bed, feet pressing into the deep pile of the carpet, and stretch, arms reaching for the ceiling, skin warm in the morning glow. The city outside stirs quietly. The Hollywood Hills wait, dotted with hidden mansions and dreams. And you are a star. Not the biggest, not the newest, but enough to have your name whispered on studio lots, to be recognized in hushed tones at the corner of a smoky jazz bar. Your phone rings softly, rotary dial spinning backward. A voice, low and confident. "Good morning, beautiful. The studio car will be here in an hour. They're ready for you." You smile, not out of surprise, but out of habit. This is your life now. A life of lights and cameras, but also of quiet mornings like this, where you can be no one, just for a breath. You wander to the window. The pool below glitters turquoise in the early sun. A single white towel rests on a lounge chair, a promise of a moment alone later, maybe, if the day allows. You sip coffee from a chipped ceramic mug, black, strong. You watch the sky turn pink to gold. A seagull cries in the distance, the sound of a city by the sea. In the kitchen, a half-finished script sits on the counter. A new role, a new chance. The words blur, but your mind is already shaping them, already slipping into the skin of someone else. But for now, you are just you, barefoot, softly humming along to the record spinning in the corner. A song from Carole King, or maybe Fleetwood Mac. It doesn't matter. It's the soundtrack of this moment, your moment. And as the city below begins to roar awake, you take a breath, deep, calm, and smile. Today, the world will see you as a star, but right now, you are just a soul bathed in golden light. And it is enough.
Chapter 2: Breakfast with the City. The kitchen is warm with morning sun. You move slowly, deliberately, like a ritual you've performed 1,000 times but never grown tired of. The radio plays softly. A morning DJ with a velvet voice, mixing music and headlines. Outside, the city yawns awake. Cars purr down Sunset Boulevard, their tires whispering over sun-baked asphalt. Somewhere, a bus brakes softly, and a dog barks once, then falls silent. You crack an egg into a pan, watching the yolk bloom like a tiny sunrise. The coffee pot bubbles low and steady. Steam rises, curling in the quiet light. This is your calm before the storm. The hour that's still yours, before scripts and cameras and handlers. A breath of normalcy in a life built on applause. You lean back against the counter, letting the warmth of the stove chase the night's last chill from your skin. You think of the night ahead, the party at Chateau Marmont, the promise of new connections, the flickering possibility of roles yet to be written. But for now, you just listen. The gentle sizzle of eggs, the low hum of the fridge, the faint thump of your own heart, steady as the beat of a distant drum. You sit at a small table by the window, a view of the city laid out like a painting. Billboards loom over Sunset, a new movie, a new band, a new perfume that smells like rain and rebellion. You butter toast, sip coffee, let the warmth settle deep in your belly. Across the street, a neighbor waters their lawn in a flowing caftan, hair wrapped in a towel. They wave absently, lost in their own morning dance. You wave back, not because you know them, but because it's polite, because it's the 70s, and everyone's a little more open, a little more willing to pretend we're all part of the same slow-moving family. You thumb through the morning paper. A headline about a new studio deal. Some fresh-faced director making waves with the script that's too real, too gritty for the old guard. You smile. The new wave of cinema is coming, and you're part of it. Not just a face on a poster, but a voice in a changing world. The phone rings again. You let it. Let the machine pick it up. It's your agent, sounding half asleep and half afraid. "Call me," he says. A hint of urgency buried in velvet. "Big news today." You let the words hang in the air. Big news can wait. Right now, you're only halfway through your coffee, and the sun is still climbing. You close your eyes. Let the taste of toast and coffee linger on your tongue. Let the city's hum fill your ears like a soft lullaby. This is the luxury they never tell you about. Not the cars or the parties, but the chance to just be. To sit in the morning light, feel the weight of your own skin, and know that for these few minutes, the world is yours alone. You take a slow breath.
The air smells like fresh bread and sun-warmed stone. You are a star, but you are also a person. And in this moment, the balance is perfect. You stand, rinse your cup, watch the last of the coffee swirl down the drain, like a tiny galaxy folding in on itself. You smile. Time to meet the world.
Chapter 3: The Studio Call. A quiet morning on set. The studio car arrives just past 9. A long, low Cadillac that smells faintly of leather and cologne. You slip into the back seat, sinking into the plush softness that cradles you like a sigh. The driver nods in the mirror. A man in his 50s, with hair combed back so tight it shines. "Morning," he says, like a promise. You smile. The city glides by outside the tinted window. Billboards, neon signs, palm trees bowing in the morning breeze. The air feels warm, the way only Los Angeles can be warm in spring. Soft as a kiss, hazy as a half-remembered dream. The studio gates open with a low groan, iron and steel parting like the pages of a book. Inside, everything is quieter. The roar of the city fades, replaced by the hum of generators, the soft shuffle of footsteps on concrete. You step out. The lot stretches before you, a small world within the world, where every sound is muffled, every face a flicker of possibility. You walk past rows of trailers, each door marked with a star's name. Some you know, some you don't, all of them glowing with the same quiet anticipation. A production assistant greets you at the door, clipboard in hand, hair pulled back in a perfect ponytail. She speaks softly, as if even the air here demands a gentler voice. "Your call time's in 15, she says. "Wardrobe's ready and makeup's just finishing up." You nod, thank her, follow her through the maze of hallways. Each turn a new world, each door a different dream. Wardrobe first. A room filled with racks of costumes. Bell-bottom jeans, shimmering sequins, suede jackets the color of autumn leaves. A tailor fusses with the sleeve of your shirt, tugging, pinning, smoothing until it fits like it was made for you. The mirror reflects a stranger, not the sleepy figure from the kitchen this morning, but the star the world expects to see. Hair combed, eyes lined, a hint of powder to catch the light just so. You smile at your reflection, a small, secret smile, because you know that under it all, you are still you. The person who hums along to the radio, the person who watches the city wake with a cup of coffee in hand. The star is just a layer, a costume like any other. On set, the lights are already warm, soft, golden as the early sun. The director greets you with a nod, a young man in a denim jacket, camera hanging from his neck like a talisman. "Ready?" he asks, though it's more of a hope than a question. You nod. Always. The script today is simple. A love scene, but not the kind the tabloids crave. A quiet moment. Two people on a rooftop whispering promises to the skyline. You walk to your mark, the tape on the floor barely visible in the soft glow. The lights dim, the hush deepens,
and the camera rolls. You speak your lines softly, each word wrapped in velvet. Your co-star meets your gaze, eyes bright with the same quiet intensity. It feels real, this moment, not because it is, but because you both choose to believe. The director watches, silent, eyes flickering behind the lens. And when he calls cut, the world breathes again. You step back, heart still beating in the hush. And for a moment, you forget there's a difference between you and the person you're playing. Breaks between takes are gentle, a quiet murmur of crew, a faint rustle of script pages. Someone brings you tea in a paper cup, the steam rising in delicate curls. You sip slowly, letting the warmth bloom in your chest. Outside, the sun climbs higher. You can see it through the open studio doors, a shaft of light cutting across the lot, painting everything in soft gold. You close your eyes, breathe in the scent of fresh lumber, new paint, warm dust. This is where the magic lives, not in the costumes, not in the cameras, but in the quiet between takes, the breath before the line, the heartbeat behind the eyes. The day stretches on. Scenes blur into scenes, but the hush remains, a soft, steady rhythm that carries you forward. You lose track of time, let it slip away like water between your fingers. Because here, in the hush of the set, time doesn't matter. Only the story, only the soft beat of your own heart echoing in the quiet. And when the director finally says wrap, you know you'll carry this stillness with you into the night, into the next scene, into every whisper of the life you've chosen.
Chapter 4: A Lunch in the Studio Canteen. The morning's quiet rhythm fades as noon arrives, ushering in a new kind of hush. A softer lull, woven from the clink of cutlery, the low hum of conversation, and the scent of fresh bread and brewed coffee. You step into the studio canteen, a haven of linoleum floors and warm yellow light. The tables are simple, but the chatter that fills them is anything but. Here, stars and stagehands share the same coffee pot. Here, the line between fame and anonymity softens like butter in the sun. You take a tray, polished chrome that reflects the soft glow overhead, and move slowly down the line. Soup today, creamy tomato, steam rising in gentle clouds. A basket of bread, still warm from the oven. You take a slice, tear it in half, and let the crust flake between your fingers. You find a seat near the window, a corner booth where you can watch the slow dance of sunlight on the concrete outside. A cinematographer slides in across from you, camera still slung around his neck, a cigarette smoldering between his lips. He nods. "Hell of a morning," he says, voice low and raspy. You smile, agree. You don't need to talk about the scene, or the line, or the way the director's hands fluttered in the air like a bird trying to find its sky. It's enough to sit in the quiet, sharing the hush. He flicks ash into a paper cup, tells you about a new film in Europe, an Italian director
who wants to shoot only at dusk, when the world softens and the light is a secret. You listen, not because you plan to leave, but because you know, someday, someone will tell a story like that about you. The canteen is filled with soft moments like this. A singer in sequins laughing too loud at a private joke. A stuntman icing a bruised wrist, telling tales of a fall that turned into a dance. A secretary with a stack of scripts, eyes bright with the thrill of a new idea. You watch them all, each one lost in their own orbit, but here, for now, gathered in the same quiet gravity. You butter your bread, sip your soup, let the warm flavors ground you. The world outside is loud, fame is loud, but in here, there's only the gentle murmur of the everyday, a pause in the performance, a breath that belongs only to you. You finish your meal slowly, savoring the last spoonful of soup, the last crumb of bread. The cinematographer excuses himself, camera already calling him back to the set. You linger a moment longer, hands wrapped around the warm mug, feeling the weight of it steady in your palms. Through the window, the city glows beneath a sky the color of old gold. You know the afternoon will bring its own scenes, its own hush. But for now, for these few quiet minutes, you are exactly where you need to be. In the gentle calm of a lunch that asks nothing of you but to be present. You stand, set your tray on the counter, nod a thank you to the cook. The world waits outside, but you carry this hush with you like a secret. And as you walk back to the set, you feel the calm settle deep in your bones. A reminder that even in the bright lights, even in the endless echo of applause, there is always room for a quiet moment, a shared meal, a breath that belongs only to you.
Chapter 5: Afternoon Rehearsals and Studio Politics. The afternoon light changes everything. Gone is the golden glow of morning. Now the sun angles sharper, casting long shadows across the studio lot. You walk back through the maze of trailers and sets, feeling the weight of the hours ahead. The hush of morning has shifted. In its place, a low, constant murmur, the quiet heartbeat of ambition. You're called to the rehearsal room, a simple space, scuffed wooden floors, mirrors lining the walls, dust caught in the corners like secrets. The director waits, script in hand, pacing slowly. He greets you with a nod, eyes bright behind wire-rimmed glasses. "Let's run it," he says. Not an order, an invitation. You take your mark. Your co-star joins you, her hair pulled back in a loose braid, eyes focused but soft. The scene is a dance, not literal, but the way words move, the way silence fills the gaps between lines. You speak softly. She answers with a glance, a breath, a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. It's rehearsal, but the emotion is real. The quiet intensity of two souls sharing a moment that may never be theirs again. The director watches, leaning against the wall, arms crossed. He murmurs adjustments, each word gentle, like tuning a delicate instrument. "Slower here," he says. "Let the quiet do the work." You nod. Feel the weight of his words settle into your bones. You run the scene again and again, each time finding something new in the hush. A gesture, a sigh, the pause that says more than any line. Outside the room, the studio politics swirl. You catch whispers in the hallway, a new project greenlit, an old one shelved, a starlet's name dropped in passing, a director's career teetering on a single review. None of it touches you directly, but you feel it, the way the air changes when someone important walks by, the way conversations pause at the sight of a studio head. Power here is soft, but sharp. Whispered deals sealed over late lunches, alliances shifting like desert sand. You're no stranger to it. You've learned to smile, to nod, to let the currents swirl around you without pulling you under. Because in the end, it's the work that matters. The scene, the hush, the breath that turns words into something more. Rehearsal ends quietly. The director claps once, a soft sound that echoes in the small room. Perfect, he says, not because it is, but because he believes it can be. You smile, feel the warmth of the praise settle deep in your chest. Your co-star winks as she gathers her things, a silent promise that you'll find the same magic when the cameras roll tomorrow. You watch her go, then sit for a moment in the empty room. The mirrors catch your reflection, 1,000 versions of yourself, each one a little different. You breathe, close your eyes, let the quiet of the room hold you. Outside, the studio hums with ambition, but in here, for a moment longer, there is only the work, the words, the hush, the promise of something real in the world of make-believe. Chapter 6: A sunset drive in a vintage car. The afternoon sun begins to dip, and the city outside the studio lot shifts. The rush slows. The air softens. You step into the late afternoon light, feeling the warmth of the day beginning to fade. A friend, a producer with a taste for old cars and quiet moments, waits at the curb. He leans against a cherry red Mustang, its paint catching the light like a flame. "Thought you might like a ride," he says, grinning beneath a pair of aviator sunglasses. You smile, slip into the passenger seat, the leather worn smooth, familiar and comforting. The engine rumbles to life, low and throaty, a purr that hums through your bones. And just like that, you're off. The city unspools around you. Neon signs flicker to life. Palm trees wave like lazy dancers in the evening breeze. The Mustang glides down Sunset, the road still warm under the tires. You lean your head back, let the wind play in your hair. Music drifts from the radio, a soft, nostalgic tune, something with the soul of the decade woven into every note. You watch the world through half-closed eyes. Billboards pass, faces you know, faces you've shared lines with, each one a fragment of a larger dream. But here, in this moment, there is no script, no mark to hit, no line to remember. only the low hum of the road and the gentle thrum of your own heart. Your friend drives without hurry, turning down narrow streets lined with jacaranda trees in full bloom, purple blossoms glowing in the last rays of sun. "Big night tonight?" he asks, though he already knows. You nod. A party at the chateau, the promise of laughter, of secrets whispered under chandeliers. But for now, you're content to let the car carry you, the city sliding by like a soft dream. You pass an old theater, its marquee lit in golden bulbs, advertising a film you once dreamed of starring in. You smile, not with regret, but with a quiet peace, because there will always be more dreams, more roles, more nights like this. The Mustang hums down an empty stretch of road, the sky above streaked in pink and gold. You let your hand drift out the window, fingers splayed wide, feeling the cool rush of the evening air. You close your eyes, breathe in the scent of gasoline, of distant ocean breeze, of something older than either. The car becomes an island, a tiny world of leather and laughter, carrying you forward into the slow, secret heart of the city. As the sun finally slips below the horizon, you turn back toward the lot. The party awaits, the cameras, the whispered promises of the night. But you are in no rush, because here, in the gentle purr of the engine and the glow of the dashboard lights, you remember something easy to forget. You are not just the star on the screen. You are the quiet soul behind the eyes, the whisper of breath, the hum of wheels on warm pavement. And for now, for these last golden minutes, that is enough. Chapter 7. The Chateau Marmont Party, a night of glamour and secrets. The evening air is thick with perfume and possibility. As you arrive at the Chateau Marmont, the soft glow of lanterns flickers against ivy-draped walls. The building looms like a promise, part hotel, part sanctuary, where legends and whispers share the same pillow. A valet takes the Mustang. You slip from the car, heels clicking softly on the warm stone path. Inside, the air hums, a soft murmur of music, ice clinking in crystal glasses, and laughter that doesn't quite reach the eyes. You take a slow breath, feel the hush of velvet curtains, the muted shimmer of sequins and silk. This is not the bright chaos of a premiere, not the clamorous echo of flashbulbs. Here, everything is softer, sadder, more real. You move through the crowd, pausing to greet old friends. A director with a glass of bourbon, a writer lost in the swirl of his own thoughts. Each conversation is a dance, soft voices, slow smiles, unspoken confessions. Someone offers you champagne, the bubbles bright and fleeting on your tongue. The glass catches the light, fracturing it into 1,000 tiny stars. You let it warm you, let it loosen the knots of the day. You slip onto a balcony where the city sprawls below like a tapestry. The lights of Hollywood blink softly, a constellation made by human hands. Beside you, an actor leans against the railing, eyes dark and thoughtful. He speaks in low tones, not about the industry, but about the sky. The way the stars seem closer here, like they're listening. You smile, nod. The night is filled with words that don't need to be remembered. Inside, a piano plays, soft, meandering notes that drift through the room like smoke. You wander back in, drawn by the music. The pianist is a woman with silver rings, her eyes closed, lost in the quiet melody. You stand nearby, letting the music fold around you. Each note is a sigh, a soft promise that tonight is for dreaming. A director pulls you into conversation. He's talking about a new project, a script set in the desert where the only light comes from the moon. He wants you for the lead. You listen, not with the hunger of ambition, but with the calm of someone who knows how the world turns. You smile, say you'll read the script. You mean it, but tonight you're not thinking of tomorrow. Only the hush of the party, the brush of silk against your skin, the way the candles flicker like tiny suns. The hours slip by, the crowd thins, the music softens. You find a quiet corner, curl into a velvet couch, and watch the room through half-lidded eyes. Someone laughs, the sound sweet and sad at once. Someone else slips out, the door closing with a sigh. The night is winding down, but you feel no rush, no need to chase the dawn. Because here, in the soft glow of the chateau, you remember. Fame is a bright, burning thing, but it's the quiet moments, the small, stolen silences that make it real. And as you rise to leave, you carry that hush with you, a whisper of velvet, a glint of candlelight, a memory of a night that was never meant to last. Chapter 8. The Drive Home. Reflections in the rear view. The party fades behind you as you slip back into the night. The car hums softly beneath your touch, a familiar purr that blends with the sigh of the cooling city. You lean back in the seat, feeling the weight of the evening settle in your shoulders. The streets are quiet now. Neon signs flicker in the rear view, casting the inside of the car in warm, pulsing light. You watch them blur past, the laughter, the music, the swirl of faces that danced in candlelight. But here, in the hush of the car, you feel the night's gentle unraveling. The driver keeps his eyes on the road, hands steady, breath slow. You let your own breathing match his. Inhale, exhale, the quiet rhythm of a city that never truly sleeps. The tires hum against the pavement, each turn a gentle lilt in the symphony of motion. You crack the window, let the night air slip in, cool and sweet, carrying the scent of distant salt and jasmine. Your thoughts drift, not in clear lines, but in soft waves. You remember the way the piano sounded, the low chords weaving through laughter like a secret. You remember the director's pitch, the promise of a desert at moonrise, a story only half told. You remember the quiet hush of the balcony, where the city below seemed to hold its breath. Each memory is a spark, brief and bright, then gone. You watch the city in the rear view. Hollywood's lights still glimmer, but they feel softer now, less like fire, more like stars. You think of the others who will still be there long after you've slipped away. The laughter that continues, the music that echoes, the whispered promises that fade with the dawn. And you realize you don't need to stay to belong, because you carry the hush of the night with you, tucked behind your ribs like a soft breath. The car slows as you turn into the hills. The streets here are narrow, lined with hedges that hold the secrets of old houses. You pass homes lit from within, warm glows behind curtained windows, snippets of lives unfolding softly in the dark. You wonder about them, the stories they hold, the quiet dramas that play out while the world outside keeps spinning. You wonder how many of them watch the same stars you do tonight. The driver turns off the radio, and the silence settles in like a sigh. You close your eyes for a moment, let the quiet wash over you. The night is soft here. It doesn't ask questions, doesn't demand answers. It just is. The car pulls up to your home, nestled in the hills, hidden from the noise of the world. You step out, feel the cool stone of the driveway under your feet, the hush of the garden that cradles the house. The driver nods once, a silent goodbye. You smile back, grateful for the gentleness of the ride. As the car pulls away, you stand for a moment, watching the taillights fade down the winding road. The city below is a soft, shimmering blanket. The sky above, a quiet canvas of stars. And you, caught between the two, feel perfectly balanced. Not as the star on the screen, not as the voice that whispered lines in the hush of the set, but as a soul soft and warm in the cradle of the night. You take a deep breath, let it fill you, then turn, step back into the calm of the house. Tomorrow, the world will call again, scripts and cameras, promises and performances. But tonight, you are just you, and that is enough. Chapter 9: A Late Night Swim and Stargazing. The house is quiet, darkened except for a single lamp casting a warm glow over the living room. You move through it softly, bare feet whispering against cool tile. A record player sits in the corner, a single vinyl turning in the hush, a soft song, gentle and slow, a lullaby for the night. You pour a glass of water, let the cold slip down your throat, washing away the last echoes of laughter and the bright lights of the party. But even here, in the stillness of your own home, you feel the pull of the night tugging at your skin. Outside, the pool waits, black and still under the quiet stars. You step out into the warm night air, feel the soft breath of jasmine on the breeze. The water shimmers, catching glimmers of starlight, reflecting a sky that feels closer now, as if the city has finally quieted enough to let you hear the cosmos breathing. You slip out of your clothes, feel the night air cool against your skin, and ease into the water. It folds around you like silk, soft and silent, a quiet embrace that asks nothing of you. You float on your back,
let the water cradle you. Above, the stars blink softly, winking in the endless velvet of the sky. You remember being a child, lying in the grass on summer nights, tracing constellations with a finger and dreaming of distant worlds. It feels the same now, even here in the heart of Hollywood, under the weight of your own name. Because in this moment, there is no script, no camera, only the slow rhythm of your breath and the soft kiss of water against skin. You close your eyes, let your thoughts drift like clouds in the night sky. You think of the director's pitch, the script that waits on your kitchen table, the stories still to be told. You think of the co-star's quiet smile, the hush of the set, the way a single glance can carry more weight than 1,000 lines. And beneath it all, you think of the quiet, the way it feels to be still, to let the night hold you. The water cools around you, a gentle reminder of the hour. You swim to the edge, rest your arms on the warm stone, and watch the sky. A shooting star arcs across the darkness, a brief, bright promise that fades as quickly as it came. You smile, make no wish, because tonight you need nothing. You have the stars, the water, the soft hush of your own breath. When the chill finally seeps in, you climb from the pool, water streaming from your hair, your skin alive with goosebumps. You wrap yourself in a towel, soft and thick, and sit at the edge of the pool to watch the sky a moment longer. The city is a distant glow now, a quiet heartbeat in the valley below. But here, in the hush of your own garden, you are a part of something older, something slower. The turning of the stars, the soft sigh of the night, the quiet rhythm of water meeting skin. You rise, pad softly back into the house, leaving damp footprints on the warm stone. The record has stopped spinning, the last notes of the song fading into silence. You pause, smile, and let the quiet fill you. Tonight is not about the bright lights or the crowded rooms. It is about this, the hush of water, the gentle pulse of the night, the small, perfect moment that asks nothing but to be felt. And as you turn out the lamp, slip beneath soft sheets and close your eyes, you carry that hush with you like a secret. The world will wait. Tonight, you are only here, soft, quiet, alive.
Chapter 10. Early Morning Reflections. The sky is just beginning to lighten when you wake. A soft glow at the edge of the world, pushing back the last dark shadows of night. You rise slowly. Let the warmth of sleep slip from your skin like the last traces of a dream. The house is quiet, still. Only the gentle hum of the refrigerator, the distant sigh of the city stirring awake. You pad barefoot to the window, draw back the curtains. The garden is a shadowy silhouette, the pool a mirror to the sky that's beginning to turn pale blue. You breathe in, slow and deep, feeling the coolness of dawn settle in your lungs. There is peace here, a pause, a soft sigh before the day begins its dance. You make tea, loose leaves swirling in hot water, the faint steam curling up like incense. You carry the cup to the back porch, settle into a cushioned chair that still holds the memory of your wait from nights before. The city below is hushed, buildings bathed in a gentle, pearly light. The roar of traffic has not yet begun, and for these few precious moments, the world feels tender, soft, new. You sip slowly. Let the warmth of the tea fill you from the inside out. Your thoughts drift, not in straight lines, but in soft spirals. You think of the night before, the laughter, the music, the quiet confessions shared in shadowed corners. You think of the set, the hush between takes, the way a single word can carry the weight of 1,000. You think of the stars, those distant fires that watched you as you drifted in the pool, their silent promise a reminder that everything is connected. And you think of the day ahead, the lines to be read, the stories to be told, the small, perfect moments that make it all worthwhile. The sun rises slowly, painting the sky in gentle strokes of gold and rose. Birdsong begins, first one, then another, until the garden is alive with quiet music. You smile. It feels like a gift, a blessing from the world to begin again. You set the empty cup aside, stretch your arms overhead, feel the gentle ache of a body that has danced through dreams and woken to something soft and sweet. You whisper to the morning, not with words, but with a breath, a quiet promise to honor this hush as you step back into the world. Because the day will come, with its bright lights, its endless demands, its clamor and its echo. But for now, there is only this moment, the warmth of the tea, the soft glow of the sky, the quiet certainty that you are exactly where you need to be. You rise, turn back to the house. The light spills in through the windows, painting the floor in warm, soft gold. You carry the calm with you like a second skin, a quiet armor against the day. And as you dress, as you slip once more into the costume of the world, you remember. The hush is always there, beneath the noise, beneath the laughter, beneath the bright burn of the spotlight. It waits, soft and steady, ready to cradle you whenever you pause to listen. And as the day begins, you promise yourself, you will keep listening. Chapter 11: The Morning Routine of a Star. The morning has fully arrived, painting the hills in honeyed light and stirring the world awake. You move through your bedroom softly, feet sinking into the thick carpet, fingers trailing along the edge of the vanity. The hush of dawn still lingers, woven through the scent of fresh linen, the gentle sigh of a distant breeze. You begin your morning routine, a ritual of small moments, each one a promise to yourself. A warm shower, steam rising like a quiet blessing. You let the water wash away the last shadows of sleep. Feel it ease the gentle ache of your muscles. The soap smells of sandalwood and orange blossom, a fragrance that reminds you of summers in the hills, of quiet afternoons spent in the sun when the world was just a golden blur. You close your eyes, let the water pour over you, feel the hush of the morning become part of your skin. Afterward, you sit at your vanity, a soft towel wrapped around your shoulders. The mirror reflects the early light, catching your eyes, bright, awake, ready. You take your time, moisturizer, a light touch of powder, the soft brush of color on your lips. Not to change, not to hide, but to honor the day ahead, the camera's gaze, the world's expectation, the quiet power of your own reflection. Each stroke of the brush is a breath, a moment of stillness, a way to claim the day before it can claim you. You dress slowly, choosing clothes that drape like a second skin, soft fabrics that whisper against your body, colors that feel like the morning sun. You slip on a bracelet, a delicate chain of gold that glints with every movement. A talisman, a quiet reminder of the calm you carry. You run a comb through your hair, letting each stroke smooth the tangle of dreams that linger from the night. You watch yourself in the mirror, not with vanity, but with gentle curiosity. This face, this quiet presence. The world sees a star, you see a soul, learning to live in the hush between each breath. Downstairs, the kitchen is bright, sunlight slanting through the windows, catching the glint of clean dishes, the quiet order of your small world. You make a simple breakfast, fruit, yogurt, a drizzle of honey that glows in the morning light. You eat slowly, savoring the sweetness, the way each bite feels like a small secret joy. Outside, the city begins to stir, car horns in the distance, the faint hum of traffic rising with the sun. But here, in the hush of your kitchen, you are still in the quiet, still in the calm. You finish your meal, rinse the bowl, set it gently in the sink. The day waits, soft and shimmering like a promise you've yet to unwrap. You take a breath, fill you, warm and steady, a quiet strength that hums beneath your ribs. Then you gather your things, your script, your notes, the soft resolve that carries you through each scene, each whispered line. You step to the door, pause for a moment, and turn back. One last look at the quiet morning light, the soft order of the room. A reminder, this is yours, this calm, this hush. The world outside may be loud, demanding and bright, but here, in the gentle echo of your own breath, you remember who you are. Not just the star, not just the voice, but the quiet heart that carries the hush wherever you go.
Chapter 12. A day on the set, embracing the spotlight. The studio lot waits, bathed in the warm glow of the morning sun. A gentle hum of activity greets you. Crew members in quiet motion, cameras shifting softly on rolling tracks. You step onto the set, the hush of the morning still wrapped around you like a cloak. The world here is carefully constructed, lights hung just so, props arranged in perfect stillness, every detail tuned to create a dream. You greet the crew softly, a nod, a smile, small kindnesses that echo in the gentle hush of the space. The director waves you over, script in hand, eyes alight with quiet anticipation. You walk to your mark, the tape on the floor worn smooth by 1,000 feet before yours. And in that small square of space, you find your center. The camera rolls. The lights warm your skin, soft as a lover's breath. You speak your lines, not with force, but with the careful calm of someone who knows that every word is a thread in a tapestry. Your co-star meets your gaze, her eyes soft, steady. Together you find the rhythm, the pauses that speak louder than the lines, the gentle weight of a breath shared in silence. Between takes, you retreat to a quiet corner. A cup of tea warms your hands, steam curling around your fingers like a whispered promise. You watch the crew move, the way they work in near silence, each step measured, each gesture deliberate. The set is a dance, a quiet waltz of shadows and light, of soft voices and focused minds. You breathe in the hush, let it settle in your bones. Because here, in this carefully lit world, you find a kind of peace, a stillness that allows you to slip into someone else's skin without losing your own. The afternoon stretches, each seam a gentle echo of the last. You lose track of time, let it slip away like the last notes of a lullaby. The director calls for one final take. The set holds its breath. You stand in the glow of the lights, feel the quiet weight of expectation, and then you speak. The words come soft, but sure, not forced, not rushed. They flow like a river, steady and true, carrying you to the edge of something you can't quite name. When the director calls cut, the world breathes again. You smile, a small, quiet smile, the kind that lives in the space between applause and silence. The crew begins to pack up, the lights dim one by one, each bulb fading like a star at dawn. You thank them softly, a word, a glance, a touch on the shoulder, because you know that without them, the hush would be empty. They are the keepers of the dream, the gentle hands that shape the quiet. As you leave the set, you carry that calm with you, the soft weight of the scene, the gentle hum of the camera's gaze. Outside, the sun is slipping low, painting the sky in soft strokes of gold and rose. You take a deep breath, feel it fill you like a promise. Because the world may see the star, the bright, burning name on the screen. But you know it's the hush between each word, the quiet breath before each line that makes it real. And as you walk away, you remember, this is what you love. Not the applause, not the glare of the lights, but the soft, secret dance of shadows and silence. The gentle art of making the world believe just for a moment in something soft and true.
Chapter 13: The Sunset Drive and Evening Reflections. The workday fades like the last golden brushstroke on the canvas of the sky. You slip into your car, the engine purring low, a warm breath in the quiet dusk. The lot is almost empty now, footsteps hushed, voices softened by the coming night. You drive slowly, windows down, letting the cool breeze wash over you. The sun is setting, the city bathed in soft hues of amber and rose. It feels like a secret, a gentle hush between the bright heat of day and the velvet calm of night.
The road curves through the hills, each turn a soft sigh, each mile a quiet promise. You watch the lights flicker on, one by one, porch lamps, street lights, the bright neon glow of the city's restless heart. But up here, in the hush of winding roads, you feel like you're gliding through another world. A world of whispered breezes, the soft scent of jasmine and warm stone, the gentle pulse of your own heartbeat. You think of the day, the laughter on set, the small shared silences that say more than words. You think of the night before, the party, the piano's soft notes drifting through the velvet air. You think of the way the city holds so many dreams, stacked one atop the other, layered like the soft folds of twilight. Each one a light, a flicker in the dark. And you are part of it, a single star in a constellation that never truly dims. The car winds down through the canyons, headlights brushing the curves of the earth, painting the rocks in pale gold. You turn off the radio, let the quiet hold you. The soft hum of the tires on the road, the gentle sigh of the wind, these are your music now. You let your thoughts drift, not in lines, but in soft spirals. Memories of the day, the gentle weight of a co-star's smile, the low murmur of a director's praise. Dreams of the night to come, the promise of a soft bed, the hush of your own breath as you slip into sleep. You pause at a lookout point, step from the car, and stand at the edge of the world. Below, the city sprawls, a quiet sea of lights that shimmer like 1,000 tiny suns. The sky above is deep indigo, the first stars pricking the darkness with their gentle glow. You breathe in, let the cool air fill your lungs, and smile. Because here, in the soft hush of evening, you feel something tender, something small and true. The quiet certainty that no matter how bright the lights burn, no matter how loud the world becomes, there is always this, a moment of stillness, a breath of peace, a soft, steady hush that waits to hold you. You return to the car, the leather seats cool against your skin. You drive on, the city opening its arms to the coming night. And as the last light of sunset slips below the hills, you carry the hush with you, a gentle promise, a secret you'll keep.
Chapter 14. The evening's last light and gentle fade to sleep. The house is quiet when you return, bathed in the soft glow of the last lamps and the gentle hush of the night. You slip off your shoes at the door, feel the cool kiss of the floorboards beneath your feet. The air smells of cedar and candle wax, faint traces of the day's small rituals, woven into the slow breath of evening. You move through the room softly, each step a gentle echo of the day that came before. The kitchen is clean, the dishes washed, the last cup of tea waiting in the warm light. You drink slowly, let the soft warmth fill you, a quiet lullaby for tired bones. Outside, the garden is a dark silhouette, the pool a still mirror catching the pale glow of the moon. You step out one last time, barefoot on cool stone, the air fresh against your skin. The stars are bright tonight,
scattered like distant memories across the velvet sky. You breathe in, let the hush settle around you, soft, steady, like the rhythm of your own heart. Off-screen, you sit for a while in the hush of the garden, hands wrapped around the last warm mug, watching the way the shadows dance in the gentle night breeze. You think of the day, the laughter, the hush of the set, the small, perfect silences that made it feel yours. You think of the night before, the piano's soft notes, the quiet conversations that drifted like smoke in the lamplight. And you think of tomorrow, not with dread, but with a gentle, hopeful calm. Because you know now, no matter how bright the lights burn, no matter how loud the world can roar, there is always this hush, this quiet, this slow, steady breath of the night that belongs only to you. When the last sip of tea is gone, you stand, feeling the weight of sleep soften your limbs. You move back inside, close the door to the night, but carry the hush with you, woven into your bones, a soft song for the dark. You slip beneath cool sheets, the bed familiar and soft, the last light of the night casting gentle patterns across the ceiling. You close your eyes, let your breath slow, let the soft hush of the house sing you to sleep. Tomorrow will come, the cameras will call, the city will wake, and the bright lights will burn again. But for now, there is only this slow, steady hush, this gentle breath of the night, and in that quiet, you drift. Softly, calmly, carried by the hush into the soft dark of sleep.